I'm here today with a 1974 Fender Twin Reverb. Now, a lot of you may know what a twin reverb is. A lot of you may not. So, give me a second. So, mine's a 74. So, a couple years prior, they were 85 watts. Then they got changed to 100 watts. And with that update, we got a master volume, which I really like. A lot of people don't. I can't understand that because in my opinion, it makes it usable in an apartment type setting. So I have it at 3. Is it 3? Yeah, 3. My volume at 3. So it's quiet. You can play it. It still sounds nice. There are 2 channels on a Fender Twin Reverb. You have your normal channel. Your normal channel is pretty basics. You have your volume, your treble, your mids, your bass, and a bright switch, and a low impedance input, and a high impedance input. Now, where a lot of people like the twin reverbs and amps quite similar to it is the vibrato channel. So in the vibrato channel, you have that legendary, bright, wishy-washy, almost like sci-fi Fender reverb that they have known for. And you have the Fender vibrato, or the technical term is, it's not actually vibrato. I don't know why Fender calls it, but it's tremolo. Because the vibrato is, it's a different sound wave. It's hard to explain. You think a new Strat, your tremolo bar is actually a vibrato bar. Your vibrato on your Fender is actually your tremolo. So they got that mixed up. I don't know why or how, but they just did. The knobs on the vibrato channel is pretty basic. Your volume, treble, mids, bass, then your reverb, and then it goes to your tremolo settings, which is your speed and your intensity, and a bright switch. Again, I also don't know why they have a bright switch on a Fender Twin, because they were known to be bright to begin with. They also have a low impedance, a high impedance, low impedance input, a high impedance input. This is also a boost pull knob, which adds to the gain circuit, which I don't understand why they technically need. Gonna unplug that for now. If you look behind here, you can see the Fender is loaded with 2 12-inch speakers. You have your ground switch, which was very important to have on at the time because it has something called a death cap, and it held a really large amount of electricity, and when that would go, it often would send whatever electrical current from the outlets through the amp and through your guitar, and if you touch something and it grounded you out, you would have a high chance of being electrocuted, and that is not fun. I would imagine. Sure. Standby and on switch on the back, unlike my Mesa where they're up at the front. And you have two speaker imports. Yeah, this one here is for the speakers that are built in, and this one here is for the one suppose goes to a cabinet or something. But the max that your Fender can take is 4 ohms. If you come over here, you see this cable here. This goes to your vibrato switch. It's like an RCA, like what you would have in the old N64 that plugs into the back of here. One goes into your vibrato, and the other goes into for your reverb. And that just allows you to turn on and off them. But your vibrato will not work without this switch. Then you have these cables here, which go to your reverb tank at the bottom of the amp. The first one here is reverb output and the reverb input. You also have a little outlet here, which would allow you to connect one of the little fans like I have on the back of the Mesa to it, just to help regulate the tubes, the temperatures of the tubes. Now there is 10 tubes inside the Fender Twin Reverb. Your power tubes, the 4 big tubes, are 6L6s. Then it's been a while since I actually looked at the diagram inside, but if you give me a moment, I can tell you. With this sheet, what it has for tubes. You have 4 6L6 GCs. That's the big tubes that power your amp. Then you have 2 12AT7s, and I'm not positive on what they run, or the 12AX7. And then you have 3 7025 tubes.